Win or lose, Jake Paul already has his sights set on Anthony Joshua, a move that stunned the world. He's not just fighting fighters. He's fighting the system. And as he said himself, first, I'm going to kill David, then I'll go on to slay Goliath. No one knows if he truly believes it, or if it's another masterstroke in marketing. But what's clear is this: every time Jake Paul steps into the ring, the world pays attention. November 14th, Jake Paul vs Gervonta Davis. A matchup that no one thought possible, yet everyone wants to see. For Tank, it's about protecting legacy. For Jake, it's about rewriting history. And for boxing, it's a defining moment in an era where clout and competition collide. Only one thing is certain: when that bell rings, the sport will never be the same again, where boxing history is told, one fight at a time. But when Paul's potential fight with Canelo Alvarez fell through, the stars aligned. According to Nikki Sabidarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, it's always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once the Canelo deal didn't happen. Tank's been calling out Jake for years, now we finally get to see if size really matters. For Davis, legacy is everything. He's undefeated, a multi-division champion, a knockout artist with a highlight reel few can match. But for Jake Paul, the game is different. He doesn't chase belts, he chases moments. He's already beaten former UFC legends, sold out arenas, and drawn record-breaking pay-per-view numbers. When offered an honorary WBA belt, Paul refused. Belts collect dust. What I've done for this sport is unprecedented. Two men. Two visions of greatness. One driven by history. The other by spectacle. But as he said time and time again, he's not backing down from anyone. To him, this isn't just another fight. It's a chance to prove that skill, timing, and experience can still triumph over hype and size. Supporters of the fight argue that this isn't the death of boxing, it's its rebirth. Jake Paul has done what few promoters could: bring millions of young fans into a sport they'd never watched before. He's blurred the line between athlete and entertainer, creating a new kind of boxing audience, one that's younger, louder, and global. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis stands for the opposite: raw talent, real skill, and the old-school code of boxing discipline. Two worlds. One ring. This fight isn't about weight, it's about what the future of boxing looks like. The story of this fight didn't happen overnight. In fact, Jake Paul had Tank Davis on his wish list as far back as 2021. Many laughed. Nobody believed it would happen. "I'm going to create the most viral knockout ever," Jake declared. It's that mindset, equal parts belief and bravado, that has turned Jake Paul from internet celebrity into one of the most talked about figures in boxing. Not everyone is celebrating. Veteran voices in boxing are questioning the ethics of this matchup. Daniel Cormier called the fight ridiculous, shocked that a lightweight champion would fight a man so much bigger. Journalist Gareth A. Davies went even further, calling it a circus, a spectacle that risks the credibility of boxing itself. But behind the criticism lies one undeniable truth: everyone will still watch. Even Tank himself has admitted there are things about Jake Paul that concern him. His power. "I gotta test his power. I gotta test his reach, his movement. I just gotta adapt." Because controversy sells, and Jake Paul knows exactly how to sell it. Davis isn't blind to the challenge. He's never faced anyone this big or this unorthodox. For Gervonta Davis, this fight is more than just another payday. It's a gamble. Critics argue that even stepping into the ring with Jake Paul is a lose-lose situation. If he wins, well, that's what's expected. But if he loses, even by accident, his legacy could take a serious hit. As one analyst put it, Tank's a 3-division world champion. You can't take that away from him. But imagine if he gets dropped by a YouTuber. The visuals alone would haunt boxing history. At lightweight, Davis is lethal. But against a man nearly 70 pounds heavier, every punch he throws carries a new kind of risk. Jake Paul isn't treating this as a stunt. He's treating it like destiny. In interviews, Paul claimed he's manifested the knockout of the year, that he's seen himself putting Tank to sleep. He's not just fighting for victory, he's fighting for validation. Validation from fans, from critics, and from a sport that has refused to fully accept him. In a sport built on legacy, weight classes, and respect, a single matchup has flipped the script. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a three-division world champion, one of the most dangerous punchers of his era, is now facing a man the boxing world never thought he'd share the ring with. Jake Paul. The YouTuber-turned-boxer, once mocked by purists, has forced his way into the sport's biggest spotlight. And now, he's daring to fight a pound-for-pound great. This isn't just a fight, it's a clash between tradition and disruption. It all began with a simple claim. Jake Paul said he would knock out Gervonta Davis in 3 rounds. A bold statement that immediately sparked outrage and intrigue across the boxing community. Tank didn't take it lightly. The champion fired back, vowing to humble the influencer who dared to challenge him. And just like that, a fantasy matchup became a headline event.